and that's verified non-GMO. So there can be other brands, but I mean, like, I have this chart here, which there was Proposition 37 when the last presidential election was. They were trying to get genetically modified foods labeled, and it didn't go through. And it was because there was so much funding from Monsanto, and there's a lot of organic companies out there that are actually owned by larger companies, and so they were putting money into it not being labeled. I mean, it's my suspicion that's because they didn't want some of their ingredients being shown.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is a list of, those are organic companies, and then the larger companies that own them.
So, M&M Mars, that's Cadbury. So they do GMO stuff. Kraft, of course. Dean Foods, but they also, the Organic Cow of Vermont. So,
And now, I'm not saying for sure that those organic companies have it, but they are owned by these larger companies. And a lot of those larger companies were putting money into them not being labeled. So to me, that's enough, for me, that's enough context clues to just maybe avoid those brands.
This is crazy because I'm looking at this. Pepsi owns Naked Juice.
Yeah.
You know, okay, so.
And, oh my gosh, the sugar that's in that stuff anyways is crazy.
Coca-Cola owns Adawala. So.
Yep. And I know for sure that those two companies did put money into it not being labeled.
Because I've never seen a label that said non-GMO.
It looks like this. That's the seal. And actually that's like a little, that shows you like the height.
That.
And then on that list too, it shows you a list of the derivatives. So like there are things that are genetically modified, but on the right, it shows you derivatives of it. So, you know, it's not just soy. You need to know these other names too so you can look for them.
So over here is...
the high-risk plants.
So the high-risk plants are alfalfa, canola, cotton, corn, flax, papaya, rice, soy, sugar beets, zucchini, and yellow summer squash. So high-risk animal products, honey and other bee products, eggs, meat, milk. So I'm doomed.
No, you have choices. There are choices for meat, and there are choices for those other things that are not.
So what are the choices for meat?
So okay, on the right there, those are lists of derivatives. So if you look on the back of a processed food and you see any of those.
So ingredients derived from these risk crops
Right.
include, but are not limited to, amino acids, aspartame. I know what aspartame is. Aspartame is a paint thinner.
And aspartame is what's in all of our artificial sweeteners, and
Right.
that now actually baby foods. I forget what brand, so I'm not going to slander anybody's name right now. But it's a brand. I believe it was Gerber. I'll double check on that. But they're putting aspartame as an ingredient in baby food, and they're labeling it as a preservative, so they're allowed to put it in there. But I mean, aspartame's linked to Alzheimer's, to immune disorders, all types of things.
It's paint thinner.
Yeah.
It's derived from paint
Yeah.
thinner. I've learned that a long time ago, so I started, even though Splenda is not totally good for you.
It's terrible.
So I went from bad to worse.
Oh,
probably.
did you?
Yeah, because I would try to get the sugar-free stuff, but then when you look at it, it contains aspartame.
Yeah, and that's the thing that makes me sad is that people are, they're trying to be conscious, and so they do like, oh, I'm going to take sugar out, so I'm going to go with the Splenda or those things. How those got passed through the FDA, I'm pretty sure that it talks about these. Oh, exactly. Like there were studies of side effects linked to it, and those just never really surfaced. And this book talks about those artificial sweeteners and things, because there's been people that just take Diet Coke. Yeah, yeah. There's been people that just taking like Diet Coke out of their diet has alleviated all of their symptoms of autoimmune disorders or brain disorders and things like that.
So. Kraft owns Boca Foods. That's supposed to be healthy. Back to Nature Foods. So, and they possibly not labeled.
Well, look on their labels. If it says non-GMO verified, then it's verified. If not, then I mean, you know. eat at your
Dean
own risk.
Foods owns White Wave Silk. Altadena, I don't know what that is. The organic.